Milwaukee just started their road trip by dropping 137 points twice in a span of 24 hours. Giannis has made 6 of his 13 three-pointers so far in February. Bobby Portis just dropped back-to-back games of scoring at least 20 points. And most shockingly, Greg Monroe's back for his second stint in Cream City. After signing a 10-day, he had 9 points and was a plus 13 off the pine in LA. With everyone sleeping on the reigning champs, today we must talk about the 2021-22 Milwaukee Bucks. Stay tuned to see why this team has a better chance of repeating than you might assume. Right quick, only 12.3% of you watching right now are subscribed, so if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Also leave a thumbs up, it takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DFlowHoops and I'll follow you back. Links in the description for those two platforms. After letting go of DeMarcus Cousins several weeks ago, which was met with disappointment from Bucks fans given Boogie performed pretty well, a few days ago on February 5th, the Bucks signed another old-school traditional big man in Greg Monroe to a 10-day contract. Bringing the former number 7 pick of the Detroit Pistons from the 2010 NBA draft back for his second tenure in Buck Threads is helping to shore up Milwaukee's center depth in the interim of Brook Lopez still being out indefinitely with a back injury. I know he may just get cut from the roster like Boogie did, but given the turbulent circumstances he's been through over the last few years, I'm rooting for Monroe to stick around next to the big three of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton in Milwaukee. The journeyman big in Monroe was traded by my Raptors in their championship season and immediately waived by the Brooklyn Nets. Meanwhile, this year in 21-22, Monroe's signed 3 different contracts with 3 different teams in the Minnesota Timberwolves, Washington Wizards, and now Milwaukee Bucks. For continuing to fight for his place in the association after being cut that many times, it's heartwarming to see Monroe thriving for the reigning champs. Currently in a fight for the top seed out east with the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls, Monroe's shocking mobility, hands, and touch finishing around the bucket contributed to a massive W for Bucks fans at Crypto.com Arena, aka Staples Center. This possession on your screen features a basic spread-out pick-and-roll action on the right wing. As the newly acquired Clipper, Norm Powell, reads that Monroe's coming to initiate the play, he smartly shuffles up to try and dodge the screen. If this was DeMarcus Cousins, while Boogie was efficient in his time with the team, the type of sequences on your screen are instances where DeMarcus's lack of attention to detail wouldn't allow him to make contact for the screen. Conversely, Greg doesn't get lazy and slip the screen, but makes a solid pin on Powell, which makes just enough contact to the point where Serge is distracted thinking about Holiday's drive. That catches Ibaka flat-footed, a beautiful bouncer in Greg's pocket pass from Drew, plus a sound catch and finish from Monroe, make for just a perfectly executed screen and dive connection. Monroe's chemistry with Drew on those play sets is really something to watch for, considering they've connected multiple times throughout Greg's first couple games. After Giannis misses a post fade right here, this beastly board in traffic gave me flashbacks of the early to mid-2010s. Breakdown on Giannis's recent shocking marksmanship from deep range is coming up, but against the Blazers a game before the Bucks arrived in LA, fan favorite Bobby Portis lit up Rip City, dropping a 30-piece, including 6 triples. Bench mobster Bobby kept pace, going 4 of 5 from deep and pouring in another 24 points against the Clippers, while Chris Middleton, Giannis, Drew, and Dante all hit a pair of threes as well. However, it was Pat Connaughton taking the stage, making 6 of his 9 attempts, all threes. Those who assumed the Bucks were going to fall off without the three-point shooting of PJ Tucker and Bryn Forbes, who they lost in free agency, have been real quiet as of late, with Portis and Connaughton stepping up. At the end of regulation, Milwaukee logged a 50% shooting night from distance, 19 for 38, including a silly 14 for 20 in the second half. The game against the Clippers displayed that when Drew Holiday decides he's had enough, the man just goes off. In the fourth quarter, when the Clippers chipped away at the lead, Holiday orchestrated the Bucks' response with 9 points in 4 minutes and bent the defense for a pair of Milwaukee triples. If that wasn't enough, Hollywood Holiday buried a step back to push the Bucks' lead back up to 19 points, right when the Bucks needed to squash any hopes of an LA comeback. Moving on to the reigning Finals MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we'll get to the film room, But Giannis owns the reputation as being one of, if not the most dominant pure slasher this game has ever seen, with his ability to get to the paint quite literally at will, with long strides, speed, and overpowering grown man strength. Also a freaky rotational perimeter and paint defender, the advanced stats prove that Giannis isn't only the most valuable lockdown guy at his position, but among all forwards in the association, he's significantly ahead of every single one of them in defensive rating. Antetokounmpo, of course, will never be strictly known for his three-point shooting, but this season has seen him attempt a career second most 3.9 triples each game and drain a career fifth best 29.5% of them. I mentioned in the intro that Giannis is shooting 46% from 3 this month, but as of this recording, over his last 2 games, the Freak's knocking down a blistering 60% of them, having made 6 of his 10 triples over his last 2 outings against the Clippers and Blazers. It would be some kind of miracle if Antetokounmpo could keep that efficiency up over a 10 to 15 game stretch, but with his championship-proven work ethic and ability to perform on the biggest stage, anything could happen. Also, considering how far other elements to his game have come over the years, like his passing, post-scoring, and leadership, I wouldn't be surprised if year 9 as a pro is the time we finally see Antetokounmpo add that elusive three-point weapon to his bag. Question is, of course, can he hit them in the playoffs, because man made damn near 15% of his threes in the 2021 finals against the Phoenix Suns. However, in a world where opposing game plans are legitimately going to be forced into gearing towards checking Giannis at the arc in the playsets I'm about to show you, the Bucks would present a new layer of unstoppability to their adversaries. Right here in transition, with his teammates slow to get up the court, despite no one being in a good position to potentially grab the O board, and the Clippers having 2 defenders in his vicinity, including one of them being one of the most valuable 3-man defenders in Nick Batum, Giannis seems unfazed, stopping on a dime at the arc, planting his left foot, and stepping into the triple with his right. That 1-2 step is looking very improved from prior years, as Giannis gets a tremendous amount of balance before letting it fly. How the man quickly swings through to get his shot to his release point now resembles a top power forward shooter in Mikal Bridges. However, it's Giannis's follow-through on his deep-range shot that's been most on point. Whether you're a fan of the Bucks or not, you have to recognize and respect that Giannis has been putting in reps, polishing every aspect of that jumper. Also looking more swift is how Antetokounmpo's baiting defenders with that shot and capitalizing off open drives. Right here, Ibaka wants a stuff after seeing Giannis's quick trigger let loose a few possessions ago. Realizing Serge is up in his grill, Giannis utilizes a one-bounce hesitation before blisteringly crossing over to his offhand, bodying Mafuzi Chef out of the way, twisting back around to his dominant hand, before up-faking Morris in traffic and finishing with all 5 Clipper defenders with their feet in the paint. While many rightfully respected Giannis Antetokounmpo's historically great postseason where he averaged 30, 13, and 5 on 57% shooting in 21 games, he hasn't gotten anything close to the type of media attention that your typical reigning MVP gets. For misinformed doubters, the narrative about this Bucks team is that they only won the title because of Brooklyn's injuries, they capitalized off Miami being tired from the bubble in the first round, Trae Young was also injured in the East Finals, and they don't have much to say about the NBA Finals against Phoenix. But their brutal narrative has already been established at that point. If anything, those haters plus the lack of attention Milwaukee gets despite having a roster full of reigning champs fighting for the number 1 seed has only added fuel to the Greek Freak, Coach Bud and company's fire to go back and prove they're a legit dynasty in 2022. What's been most shocking about the Bucks lately? Best answer down below in the comments gets next video shoutout. Top 5 commenters with the most shoutouts by March 21st receive free NBA merchandise of their choosing this spring, so leave your take on today's question to compete in Community Speaks. Today's Speaks winner is It's Ye-Boy, who says Miami will finish as the number 1 seed in the East if Bam Adebayo develops into an all-NBA type player. The team would take massive leaps if Bam becomes a scoring threat because he would require the attention of 2 players, and he has the ability to find the open man with his facilitating. Appreciate every answer. I hope you have a great one. D-Flow signing off.